Alrighty. Hi guys. So thanks for being here today and thanks for being interested in joining these new training sessions called Train and Game Thursdays, other words, hashtag tag Thursdays. So today is going to be all about self-care. But I first wanted to introduce who I am. Some of you might know me. Some of you might have never heard of me before. But so to those of you, nice to meet you. My name is Ashley West. I am a business engagement specialist. I cover the state of Iowa. I've been with the department for about 5 years now. I've been in a couple different roles. I first started as a business engagement specialist covering the eastern side of the state. I then moved into the independent living teacher role covering central and western Iowa. And then I moved into the VR counselor role. I was in that role for about a year and a half, and now I am the business engagement specialist for the state. So this is really what I'm passionate about. I am really passionate about connecting clients to employers, advocating to employers, being that final connection piece, seeing that success, like I said, advocating to employers about what clients can do, the skills, and seeing that final piece fall into place. So a little bit about me. I'm born and raised in Iowa, right here in Des Moines. I went to the University of Iowa for my bachelor's and then got my master's in vocational rehabilitation counseling, mental health from Drake University. So I've included a picture of myself, my grandma, and my son when I graduated from Drake University. I was the first person of my family to go to college, and so that was a kind of big milestone for myself and my family. And then I've also included on this slide a picture of my dad and my grandpa. My dad has a traumatic brain injury, and my grandpa, my dad was a union insulator for many years, and his accommodation was my grandpa, kind of that low-tech accommodation, nothing technical there, but my dad, the job site was constantly changing, and because of my dad's traumatic brain injury, he could not remember how to get to the job site. So my dad and grandpa would travel together. My grandpa would get him to the job site, but once he was on the job site, he did better work than anyone there, or just as good, if not better. So again, I really saw that if an accommodation's in place, if the person has the skills, they can do meaningful work, they can do great work. So just that really fuels my passion for what I do. So that's kind of why I'm in the field that I'm in. And again, then I've included a picture of me and my son at the pumpkin patch, just because really having that balanced life. If you're going to school, if you're working, it's just really important to have that all-around balanced life, which is what we'll talk about today. So I've included a slide about Zoom etiquette. It's kind of awkward because it's just me on the recording right now, but usually there'll be multiple people on the meeting, and so don't be offended if when you get on the meeting you're muted right away. I do that because of the feedback. When there's multiple people, sometimes we'll get dog barking in the background or kids yelling. So I've started it by muting everybody, and you can unmute yourself when you have something to say or a question or comment. And when you do have something to share, please start by saying your name so we know who's sharing out. And I really encourage you to please share out, please engage. The social distancing, this, social isolation is truly difficult, right? As humans, we want to connect, we want to interact. It's human nature. So not the whole point, but a huge benefit of these virtual meetings is to interact, to engage, to share our struggles, to share our strengths, to share our ideas. So I please engage. So I really strongly encourage that. I have enabled a chat feature So when we do have these meetings, if you don't feel comfortable, you know, sharing out, maybe it's about a topic and that maybe you're struggling with, or maybe you do have kids yelling in the background and you don't want to unmute yourself, there's going to be a chat feature. So if you have the skills and you can type your response, and if you want me to share it with the group, I will, or if it's something, a question that you have for me, I can answer you either verbally or type the response. So just to let you know that. I also wanted to share that at the end of every meeting, I will jump off and kind of let it go. I can let the meeting go for, I'm going to say 5-10 minutes afterwards. That way, if there's anyone who wants to stay on and engage, please feel free without me on it. So I really want you guys to have the opportunity to connect with one another. So, okay. So some of you might be wondering, I'm a vocational rehabilitation client. I'm interested in work. I want to go to work. Why are we talking about self-care? And then others of you might be saying, good, I need this, So regardless of where you're at, I kind of wanted to say, kind of give a brief explanation of why, right? Well, really, your work, what you do, all your actions, your work is as good as you are, right? So regardless of your skills, your experience, the resume you put together, the cover letter you put together, it's all only as good as you are, okay? So we're gonna go up from here. We're gonna build up from here. We're gonna do training sessions on, benefits and resume and cover letter and elevator speech and all of that, but we need to build a good foundation. That foundation is self-care. So we need to start with that. And so if you're not taking care of yourself, then you can't be putting in the effort into those things. So we're going to start with that strong foundation. So it's my hope that you're going to gain knowledge and self-awareness in areas of self-care, that you're going to acquire strategies to improve your self-care. You're going to learn how to apply self-care strategies in your job search, right? So we're going to tie that in. We're going to tie all that in. And then after today, you're going to really commit to increasing behaviors of self-care, okay? So step one. What's step one? Before we even get started in those self-care strategies, let's talk about it. Let's talk about what we're feeling. So everybody knows there's a global pandemic going on, okay? You hear about it all day, every day. But what does that make you feel? Okay, because to me, it's white noise almost all around us, but are we really checking in with what that's making us feel? Because until we check in with ourselves, until we acknowledge what that's making us feel and identify those emotions and really feel them, we can't start to even practice those self-care strategies efficiently. So let's talk about those emotions. What are we currently feeling? And since we can't engage right now, since it's a recording, to me, some of those strong emotions are going to be uncertainty, fear, anxiety, anger, frustration, right? And a lot of that stems from that uncertainty, financial concerns, right? Those are some of those strong ones. So that's step one. That's the most important thing to managing these emotions, are acknowledging they're there, identifying them, okay? So let's start with the anger, frustration. Many people looking for a job right now, they're angry. That's point blank, they're angry. And that's okay. They're angry. They're angry at themselves. They're angry at former employers. They're angry at the state of the world right now. Anger is a common emotion right now. And anger is the most basic human emotion. So let yourself feel it, okay? Not to go all mental health counselor, but let yourself feel it. Because if you don't let yourself feel that anger, then it's going to be displaced in the wrong ways. You're going to maybe take it out in that email to a person that's trying to support you, or take it out on a spouse that's trying to support you. So take time and allow yourself to sit and feel that anger. 15 minutes, 2 to 3 times a day, which may sound like a lot, but if you allow yourself to feel that anger and sit with it, then it's going to go down. Okay? It's going to become less and less. So that frustration you're feeling, it may be attributed to constantly just sending your resume out to those job boards over and over, right? Which could be called that resume black hole. So really look at how you're applying for jobs and see if that's effective. Could that be causing your frustration? Maybe changing the way you're job searching and applying for jobs. Okay? And we'll talk about that more later. Again, fear. Everybody around the world right now, fear. Okay? So fear on a variety of levels. Fear of getting infected yourself. Fear of what can happen if you get infected. The pain of social isolation, social distancing. It's difficult, right? We want to connect. We want to interact with other people. Fear of financial hardship. Fear of just not knowing. Okay, that's the most difficult, right? Just not knowing what this is, what can happen, okay? So I think this quote by, and you'll realize I like quotes as we go along. This quote by H.P. Lovecraft, I think describes the situation perfectly, and how the emotion of fear relates to the situation. It says, the oldest and strongest emotion of mankind is fear, and the oldest and strongest kind of fear is fear of the unknown. I think that couldn't be more true, and every single person can relate to this and the emotion of fear in this situation. So what strategies can be put in place to combat this just unknown fear that we're feeling, right? So taking media breaks. I know that's been huge because all everyone's doing is talking all over, right? Turn on the radio, it's fear. Turn on the TV, it's fear. So I really encourage you to, in the morning, turn it on, get your half-hour information session from a reliable source, and turn it off, okay? Set your media boundary. And then do media source checks, right? So you get on social media, you know, somebody posts something almost crazy and it terrifies you. Look into that source. Where did it come from? Where did this, you know, crazy post come from? Is it even a reliable source? Where did they do their data? Where did they get their research? Where did they pull their data from? Okay? Do media source checks to make sure that what they're saying is accurate. Okay, you have to do your own research. Okay? Practice positive thinking. So I know this sounds cheesy, but the scientific data doesn't lie, right? Focus on the good. Like the old saying goes, a negative mind will never get you a positive life. So try to see the silver lining every day. So, you know, you watch the numbers go up rather than doing that, notice the good, how the world is changing for the better. Notice the helpers, notice how communities are coming together. Focus on the positives, really. So how communities are coming together to celebrate birthdays, how, you know, family members are finding creative ways to, you know, just come together, how you're able to spend more quality time with kids. Just focus on that silver lining, because sometimes that's all you can do. Otherwise, you'll drag yourself so far down if all you do is focus on the negative. Tell yourself that this too shall pass. Okay, this is not going to last forever. It will pass. And like I sent the counselors last week, the week before, I said in quotes, like the quote goes, this too shall pass. It may pass like a kidney stone, but this too shall pass. Which brings me to the next point, see the humor. So I don't know how many times I've used humor to get me through tough life situations. You have got to see the humor, you know, make yourself laugh, okay? So we have to identify the emotions that we're feeling to do the necessary first step in self-care process, okay? Rather than covering them up, we have to sit with these emotions to begin to develop this thing called psychological resilience, okay? That means that the next time, or as this traumatic event goes on, we're still gonna feel these tough emotions, but we're better able to function with everyday life, okay? We're better able to function psychologically, physically. We're not gonna break down, okay? So this is called psychological resilience. So strengthening our resiliency can help us in coping with the fear and isolation we are currently experiencing with COVID-19, okay? So it involves behavior, thoughts, and actions that anyone can learn and develop. It's not something you're born with. We can start today by developing psychological resilience, okay? So how do we start building it, right? What do you think? You guessed it, self-care. So now we're gonna spend some time talking about those self-care strategies to build psychological resilience so that next week, 2 weeks from now, we're able to do our job search stronger, better as this goes on, okay? So what are some strategies that we can put in place tomorrow, starting when we wake up? Stick to a routine. I cannot stress this enough. So go to bed at a decent time tonight. Wake up at a decent time tomorrow. Have a routine in place. You know, don't sleep all day. Don't sleep till noon. Don't put a routine in place for yourself, okay? Dress for the social life you want, not the social life you have. So you might not see anyone all day, or you might see just your spouse and not feel a need to dress up. I'm not saying dress up, dress comfy, but put on decent clothes and make you feel good about yourself, okay? Try to get fresh air at least 30 minutes per day. This has been crucial for me. I don't know about you guys, but crucial for me. And if you're in a situation where it's difficult for you to get out, go sit by your window or blast some fresh air in your face, okay? This is crucial. Try to get fresh air at least 30 minutes per day, even if it is sitting by a window. Open a window. Get your heart rate up for at least 30 minutes per day. There's, you know, some free online classes, anything you can do to try to get your heart rate up. This is crucial for everyday life. It's even more so now that we're self-isolating. Stay connected with people outside of your household. We're going to talk about this more later. Stay hydrated and eat well. This one may seem obvious, but it's even more difficult now. It has been for me. I'll say that, especially the water thing. So making sure you're staying hydrated and eat well. Develop a self-care toolkit. This one looks different for everyone, but it's stuff that's sensory. So this might take you maybe a couple days to develop, but jot it down as you go along. So maybe that song that you jam out to that makes you just instantly in a good mood, or song that makes you relaxed. A blanket, maybe your safety net, or a smell that reminds you of a happy place, or lavender that relaxes you. They say Listerine or mint gum or Listerine strips, ginger ale, frozen Starburst, ice packs, and cold are good for anxiety regulation. So just put together a self-care toolkit that is your go-to box, okay? Give everyone the benefit of the doubt. So you might be spending a lot of time with a spouse or a lot of time with kids that they might be driving you crazy, okay? I got one of those. Give them the benefit of the doubt. Everyone's doing the best that they can. So just go easy on yourself. And then number 10, lower your expectations and practice radical self-acceptance. So again, everyone's doing the best they can, including you. So go easy on yourself. Find your own retreat space, whether that's an office, a garage, a big closet, somewhere you can go just to chill out and get your own space. We all need that. Help others. So find ways that you can give back to others. And this doesn't have to be going outside, risking your health, or spending money, supporting local businesses. I know that's been a big push. This can be just liking a page on Facebook of a small business. There was a great tip from a local business about just sharing a page is so helpful to small businesses. Writing a review, anything you can do just to spread the word is very helpful to small businesses. So just helping others like that. Writing a letter to an elderly, I know that an elderly man up in a small town, Iowa, was turning 100 and family was asking to send a card. So small things can mean so much, right? Just little things like that, maybe writing on a Facebook wall, happy birthday, something like that of someone who can't celebrate with family right now. Find something you can control and control the heck out of it. So right now, the world's kind of in this mass chaos, and that puts a lot of stress on us mentally. So find something you can control, whether that's organizing a closet or organizing a spice cabinet or organizing anything. Just find something you can control and control it. Find a long-term project to dive into. So something you've been putting off, finish it up. What's something you've been wanting to do but haven't had the time? You have time now, okay? Find an expressive art and go for it, right? So, you know, whether that's learning how to play the keyboard or, you know, learning how to crochet a blanket, you know, something. Find an expressive art, something, a way to express yourself. Let's see. So again, finding the humor in each day. I know this, like I said, has helped me. So reach out to your help. Your team's there for you. So whether that's a mental health counselor, VR counselor, your team's there for you. Chunk your quarantine. It seems like it's going to go on forever. Just take one day at a time. You can't, I know that you can't say a week from now, a month from now, because we don't know. So just take one day at a time. But remind yourself that this is temporary. It's not going to go on forever. And find the lesson. So what did we need to change about ourselves? What did the world need to change about itself? So find the lesson. And so I just thought this slide was helpful because that was a lot of information to throw at you. So I put together kind of a self-care strategy schedule, right? This can be rearranged, this can be altered however you want to, but to me this was a good way for my brain to kind of organize everything, right? So step one, get up, shower / daily care / medication. So just get up, take care of yourself. Get ready for the day, as my grandma used to say. For women, put your face on. Get your heart rate up. So whatever you need to do. Or switch those, because everyone get your heart rate up, then shower. However you want to do it. Drink your water. Do that throughout the day. Drink your water. Clean one thing for your space. So, right, organize your space. Do one thing you'll be glad you did later. And we're going to talk about that more on the next slide. Connect, connect, connect. So this means connect with people outside your house. We're going to talk about that too. I put get outside, right? Get fresh air. And tend to something growing. I found this to be extremely therapeutic, which surprised me because I usually am not a good gardener. I can grow a child, but not grow a plant, so don't tell me. Be mindfully present to, again, those sensory things, sound, song, sensory feeling, and do one thing just because you want to, you know? So have fun, try to enjoy yourself, enjoy the time, enjoy the extra time, enjoy the slowdown of life, okay? So, as I said, let's apply these to the job search. When I said do one thing, you'll be glad you did later. Because in this job search, we can still move forward. So, how are we going to do that? Again, creating a schedule and sticking to it. So, what should that include? When you get up in the day, what should that schedule include? Virtual networking events and meetings. When you just, and I'm going to be honest, I want you to kind of etch this in your brain. When you just take that resume and paste it on that job board, or you put that on Indeed, send it out there, it's not going to be the most effective way to applying to jobs. I'm going to say that again. When you take that resume and you just post it on Indeed or blankly send it out to a bunch of jobs, it's not going to be the most effective way of getting the job, okay? So when you create the schedule, starting tomorrow, probably Monday, try to do some virtual networking events and meetings, okay? Networking. While you're at home right now, do some online learning and classes. This is not only going to keep your skills up, this is going to be something you can build your resume. It's going to be something you can talk to employers with, what you've been doing. Use your current skills to maybe do some volunteering. Okay, again, this can be something you can build your resume. And if you can't be out in the community, maybe you can be making some phone calls, connecting folks to resources. There's ways you can be volunteering, okay? Now, so we're going to be talking about lists, and depending on your tech skills, it might look different for everybody, okay? So, creating lists. These are a couple challenges for you that we're going to be working on. You're going to be creating 2 lists. One list is going to be 100 people, or as close as you can get, 100 people you know. So including colleagues, friends, customers, clients, past coworkers, 100 people you know, okay? The second list is going to be 50 companies you would like to work for or that could potentially hire you for the work or skills that you have, okay? So the next activities you're going to include in your daily schedule is connect, connect, connect. 3 connects. So once you have created those lists, the goal over the next several weeks is going to be first connect, what we're going to work on in one of our tag training sessions. Training game is going to be creating a LinkedIn profile if you don't already have one. And the first connect is going to entail reaching out to all of those individuals, okay? So you're going to be reaching out to all of those individuals, and share with them your specific job that you are seeking and some of the companies you are interested in working for. That's connect number one. Connect number two is reaching out to people that you don't know yet that might be second degree connection. That will make sense if you're not on LinkedIn once you get on LinkedIn. So after you've made that list of 50 companies, you're going to look on LinkedIn for those individuals that might work for those companies that you don't know yet, but you're going to try to connect with those people. So I'm going to give you an example of this. So say you want to work on your list of 50 companies. These are examples. Say on your list of 50 companies, company Ford is on that list of 50 companies. Now, you know Bob, but you don't know Fred, and Fred works for Ford, okay? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna ask, hey Bob, I see that you know Fred. Fred works for Ford. Do you care if I use your name when I message Fred? Say that I know you, right? Chances are Bob's gonna say, yeah, that's fine, because you know Bob. You have a relationship with Bob. So you're gonna message Fred. Fred works for Ford, right? You're gonna message Fred and say, hey Fred, I know Bob, and I'm wondering, I see that you work for Ford. What are the things that you enjoy about working for Ford? That's all you're gonna say. You're not asking Fred for a job, because chances are Fred doesn't do anything with hiring at Ford. So chances are Fred's gonna respond and tell you about things he likes, dislikes about working for Ford. And you're gonna build that relationship, because there's a good chance Fred knows someone at Ford who does do hiring. And then you can build your relationship that way. That's called networking. Okay, now I'm at a breath. The third connect, well, those three connects, are gonna be after you've connected with every single person, you're gonna follow up, send thank you messages, and keep them updated about how you've been, how you've implemented their advice, and look for opportunities to share relevant information, or just touch base with people who've offered to help, okay? So connecting, networking, using that time that you have right now to network, okay? Again, a couple more bullet points. Give yourself grace during this time. Be your own cheerleader. Like, you wouldn't say it to a friend, don't say it to yourself. This is a difficult time for everybody. Don't be hard on yourself. Job searching is a full-time job. It's difficult not to get results. It's difficult not to get that job. It's difficult to come in second. You don't need another person slamming you down during this time, right? And identify your super team. So identify those people who are not only going to pick you up when you're down, going to cheer you on, but who are also going to give you that constructive criticism. We're going to say, hey, this is what you could improve on. This is what's probably going to help you out. So identify those people, your super team. Everybody needs those. I've included a slide about life hacks. So just kind of some bullet points. Eat better, drink water, move more. Get quiet before bedtime, look honestly at yourself, do your own cleanup, let others do theirs, right? Got enough to worry about, don't worry about other people. Watch yourself talk. Let go of old beliefs that don't serve you. Be grateful for everything you have and everything you don't have. Spend time on things and people that are important to you, and be kind to yourself. I wanted to end with some quotes, again, because I like quotes. I thought these could really apply to kind of the theme for today, but start where you are today. The secret of your success is found in your daily routine. Isn't that the truth? The secret to change is to focus all of your energy, not on fighting the old, but on building the new. Socrates. And do not worry about the past or future. This moment needs your attention, for this is where your life exists. And a day of worry is more exhausting than a week of work. keep that in mind. So this is where I would ask for questions, comments, and ideas on ways to implement these self-care strategies, but it's kind of awkward if I sat here and waited for that because there's no one here to talk to me. So I just want to thank you again for your time and being willing to participate in these training game sessions, and just remember to take care of yourself. We truly are all in this together. No one is not experiencing these emotions, fear, wanting to connect, missing people, missing family, wanting to get together, just needing that connection. So just remember, we are all in this together, and just remember to take care of yourself. So my contact information is on here. The next training game session will be April 29th at 1 p.m. It will be all about benefits. So how going to work affects SSI, SSDI. You can join via web or the phone. We'll have all the kinks worked out, I promise. So I just got my benefits certification. So that was a process, but I learned a lot. So we'll be doing a general session about that. I will send out a Woohoo form so you can kind of send in your questions. We can make sure we address any of that ahead of time. So I hope you guys join and have a great weekend. I will get this sent out to you. So thank you.